Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Peter Rosenberg, joined today by, I thought just my guy Hezekiah was coming. All right? But Hezekiah has a group called Johnny Popcorn.
What's up?
What's up?
And three members of that group, one of which being Hezekiah here today. Do you want to introduce your cohorts?
Hey, man, this is Brother Carruthers,
What's happening?
drummer of Johnny Popcorn. And,
Very well dressed, by the way.
Oh, I tried.
One of the best
dressed.
You're the best dressed man in that seat since Jadena was there.
Hey, that's funny. My students, they call me the classic man, too.
There you go. Exactly.
And this is Johnny Coral,
What's up, everybody?
lead vocalist.
And you guys are all from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania?
I'm originally from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm from Virginia.
Well, if you want to be technical, I'm from Delaware.
Originally, yeah. Originally,
But we all met in Philly.
But you all met in Philly.
Yes.
Where in Delaware are you from exactly?
Newcastle, Delaware.
Which is close
Home
to
of the
Philly.
fist fight. Home of the fist fight.
What does that mean, home of the fist fight?
Home of the fist fight. You saw the movie Fight Club?
Yeah, of course.
That was supposedly set in Delaware.
Oh, really? That was
Yeah,
supposed to be. I'm
yeah.
glad Delaware does have something to hang its hat on. You know, one of the things that we're all really proud of.
Right.
That's it.
I go to the beach in Delaware. It's quite
Which
lovely.
Rehoboth Beach?
I go to Bethany Beach, but yeah.
Okay,
okay.
yeah. You
Same.
got to leave your clothes on.
What do you mean?
Your rashes and shit. You know.
Why? Why the rashes?
Should we cuss?
I mean, you just did, but why
Okay.
would there be rashes?
Oh, you know, the water.
No, stop.
yes,
I don't like you.
dude.
Why are you spreading your
Dude, why
negativity
the
about
rash?
Delaware?
He just
no.
ruined it.
Well, at
for
least
me.
that's what I told my lady. I said it was the beach.
Oh, that's your own issue. And where in Virginia are you from?
Fredericksburg. It's
Fredericksburg.
like an hour outside of DC.
Yeah, no, I know where it is.
Yeah.
It's in the cut. And
From out that way, right?
yeah, I'm from DC.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're from
I'm from Linden. I'm right over the bridge.
Linden, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, what is Johnny Popcorn? Do tell.
Johnny Popcorn is this incredible band with this incredible sound that just goes from punk to. I always say it's like Earth, Wind, and Fire meets Bad Brains meets The Hives.
Wow.
Yeah, you know. So
That's
it's
a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. The
But it
live
makes
show
sense,
is
actually.
Crazy. Yeah. Especially when you see it live, man.
And how long have you guys been doing this?
Johnny, 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years now. Yeah. Just
And you have a new project coming out on September 30th. Is that correct?
Yeah, man. This project's called Totem Pole. We signed actually. I had many deals as Hezekiah, but this one deal felt right. It was it's a label called Mad Dragon.
Okay.
From Drexel, the school in Philly, and it's a student ran label. So this is being put out by the students.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's RJD2 put me on.
Wow, really?
Like he released a project called Iceberg through them, and he was like, "Yo, this is perfect for this label," and I felt good about it because it wasn't like a normal indie deal. Indie deals, you know, sometimes they play with your money, they lie to you, and then they have to pay for future artists, so they tell you that you didn't recoup and all that. They don't have to play that game because it's a college, they have money, and it's the indie thing, but then they gave us an advance and everything.
Wow. So and what school is it based through?
This is Drexel,
At Drexel.
called Mad Dragon Media.
Because Drexel, are they the Dragons?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So, and the logic for Drexel is that it gives students experience and education in
The music,
the music business.
Right.
Wow, that's really, really cool.
Dude, they paying for merch, CDs, T-shirts,
Social media.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
Pushing a lot of
crazy.
stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
man, it's a pretty cool idea. It's been around for like 3 or 4 years.
Wow, that is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And where can people get this album on September 30th?
They can get it JohnnyPopcorn.com,
Okay.
and they can go everywhere.
iTunes.
iTunes.
whatever.
Yeah.
Everywhere digital. Yeah,
They can pre-order it now on iTunes.
yeah, for sure.
So Hezekiah, for people who don't know, I've known you, I guess, through the music
Forever.
for a long, long time. And I don't even remember exactly from how. I'm guessing it was from all the way back from like Kev Brown going to Philly.
Right. The first
Jazzy
Beat
Jeff
Society.
album or Beat Society?
It
Okay.
might be. I think it was before Beat Society. When
Yeah.
I met you. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was through Kev Brown. It was through Kev Brown, and then I met you a few other times, Odyssey, but really,
You worked on a critically acclaimed song.
critically acclaimed.
Now,
dudes.
yeah. Now, and how long have you been a producer?
Forever, since I was 12 years old.
And what were you originally working on when you first started making beats? What machine?
TR-909, not the 808. My aunt was too cheap to buy an 808, so we had a TR-909, and my uncle, he had a band, so we had live instruments. So I always did music half digital and half live instruments. Always did it like that since 12 years old. So that's
What live instruments were you using as a kid?
Bass guitar, yeah, bass guitar and keys.
And you were playing yourself?
Yeah, I play bass.
So you would play the bass, then sample yourself playing the bass?
Yes, that's what I still do now. Don't ask me to solo live. It sucks. I play enough.
That's
to
what the
sample
band is
myself.
for.
Yeah.
And then what was your come up in music? How did you end up getting to be like? Take us from when you first started, to, Beat Society.
Chester, Pennsylvania is where I was born and raised. Then I moved to Newcastle, Delaware when I was like 14, 15. And but then Delaware is not so far from Philly. So I started like 91, even before that, I was skateboarding, meeting Chuck Treese, the legendary punk rock legend Chuck Treese, and I was skating with him. So then, years later, I met The Roots, met Questlove, and then years later, man, I was just going back and forth, working with The Roots, and then like 2003, 2004, working for The Roots. So yeah.
What did you do for the Roots?
Just studio hand, then it grew into like engineering, and then it grew into like some semi-production.
And what would you say you learned the most being around those guys?
Patience, patience, because I was an artist, so just sitting there, sit around, wait your turn, and work humbly, give. You got to give to get. That's a big thing I learned from Amir, especially Amir and Rich Nichols.
Why did you why was that specifically what you learned from them? Amir and Rich.
Because I would always pressure people, oh, get me on stage, get me I need this, and they were just like, yo, just do what you're here for this, we hired you for this, and Amir would just be like, your time is coming. He had my back. He really had my back, and he would just be like, encourage me, like, your time is coming, wait patiently, and don't pick your moments,
What would you say thus far in your career is the production credits you're most proud of?
Yelling Away, Zap Mama, and Common with Quale.
How did that happen? How did the Zap Mama?
Weird. OK Player. I'm really OK Player affiliated. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
very much so since the very beginning, correct?
Since the very, very beginning. I love that song. That was a good one. Production credit, then songwriting credit, a lot of Bilal stuff. Think It Over is like one of my favorite ones, produced by 88 Keys, written by me.
It's Yelling Away remix, is that correct?
Yeah, Yelling Away remix. Yeah.
Well, let's get a little taste of that.
Get a little taste of that, John.
We'll give him a taste of that record. And which Bilal album, by the way, was that on?
Airtight's Revenge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, were you involved in Beat Society from the very beginning?
Yeah.
And how did that come to be? For people who don't know, by the way, Beat Society is exactly what it sounds like, a society, more or less, of those who love beats. Mm-hmm. And it's a traveling event in which great producers sit together. And, I guess it was formed originally to feel sort of like a battle.
Right.
But it's sort of more just like you know.
It wasn't.
It's not a competition.
Nah,
it's
not at all.
it's just jam out, really,
Right.
more than anything.
I said like this: Beat Society was a website, for producers first, right? Then a year later, I'm sitting with Christoph and Jim, and Sal and Seo, Steph Tatas, and we're just hanging around. It wasn't even a Beat Society meeting. We was all hanging together, and me being a performer. And a producer, I was like, yo, it's kind of messed up that producers, rappers, singers, dancers, everybody has a platform to perform. But the people that actually make the music are stuck in the studio. So I was like, yo, let's put producers on the stage. And they were like, yeah, it might not work. I was like, let's just try it. You know what I mean? So our first Beat Society, I think, was Kev Brown, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
You might have been the first one.
Yeah, Street Orchestra, Kev Brown, me, and J Ski. Diplo was our DJ.
Wow.
Yeah, he was the dude that picked the records. You know what I'm saying? He said we was the first people to ever paid him for doing music. Yeah.
And it was in Philly?
Yeah, it was in
first
Philly.
One?
Yeah, first one was in Philly. The second one, then it was like half empty, half full. But then like by the second one, there's like a line around the corner. Common couldn't get in. Like a lot of people was trying to get in. I remember Taz from Sarah was there. Taz Arnold. It was crazy, man. And then the third one, Kanye was there. You know.
Kanye was there. Was he in it or just
Yeah,
there?
he was in it. You know?
Kanye was in it.
Yeah, Kanye.
But to
was in
say say some of the other alums of Beat Society.
Alumni, Beat Society alumni, Ninth Wonder, Just Blaze. Who else? You can name
Kanye, Kev,
Kanye, Illmind.
Odyssey, Illmind.
Yeah. This goes on.
Many more.
Yeah, many more.
What do you remember anything about Kanye's performance when he was in Beat Society?
Dude, I yelled at Kanye.
What,
I was cussing at Kanye.
why? Was he being a pain in the ass? Was he being Kanye?
Yeah, he was being Kanye. First of all, it's like, now I want to pull his car. But this mug was like, during sound check, and people always be like, Kanye kind of crazy. But Kanye had like...
And this is what period for Kanye? This
is like 2002.
Is this pre Through the Wire?
Pre Through the Wire.
So this is when he's putting out beats with Rockefeller. Though.
Right.
They're coming. They're starting to come out. Okay.
They're starting to come out. This dude had like tics. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, and then like say you're talking and he would try to like mouth your words while you're talking. And then when he finally came out, I was like, damn, this dude must have had like therapy to take care of his tics, because his tics were crazy, like to the point where I thought this dude was like nutty. And then I was yelling at him through the whole Beat Society because he would like play beats and then grab the mic from Steph and then start rapping over every single beat. I was like, yo, sit the fuck down and just fucking play the beats.
Are you serious?
I was yelling at Kanye the whole show.
Oh my God. Well, because even back then, he really wanted to rap.
Right.
And couldn't lay off of it.
Right. Yo, he would not lay off of it, yeah. Every beat.
And he probably didn't realize that even at the time for that event, people really want to hear the beats more than they want to hear anyone rap. It's not even necessarily to your benefit to do that.
Show. The funniest part was he had a Sonic EPS, right? So he had the Sonic EPS, and he was like acting like he was playing it, like, but then he had his like CD player underneath it, so he like push play.
But he just wanted the aesthetic, the feeling of it. He did one?
You a genius, huh?
He only did one?
Yeah, he only did one beat.
Did he play any beats that were epic like that?
Yeah. Dude, that's where he met Mobb Deep. And remember that Mobb Deep track that he produced?
Yeah.
You know how we do the sample round?
Mm-hmm.
Diplo gave him, we gave him the sample to flip like 2 weeks before. He flipped the sample, and Prodigy was on that same show. And
that record ended up becoming the Mobb Deep record?
Mobb Deep record, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kanye's pretty good.
Yeah.
Update. I don't know if we should fill that in. That was 2002.
That was 2002.
He's still pretty good. Here's one of my favorite moments from Beat Society. This was in New York. This was a New York one where Kev was on it and Bumpy Nux came out and then premiered the song that I still don't think ever came out, and that I have recorded from that night.
Give it up for Chad.
Oh, interpretation. Chad, what's on track?
So that's who we are as Beat Society. It's about that old rhythm, man, that old groove that we can bring into the present and make it relevant. All right?
Yo,
so
we
New York.
got a special guest in the house.
Look, it don't stop tonight. Like that's usually the end of our show.
Yo, hold up. No? That's
Wait for it.
All right.
That's what makes it a moment.
That's it?
Yo.
Okay, we gotta stop.
We're gonna take it out with Illmind and Just Blaze.
And I'm sorry, we had
Super
Factory and Bumpy Knuckles on the
They want us to stop.
But we gotta stop.
They want us to stop.
So that's where we's about to go. Come back and see us.
They want us to stop.
This is so Beat Society, by the way.
I want Bumpy. I want to see Bumpy Knuckles.
Bumpy Nux, baby. It's Bumpy Nux.
Yeah, y'all want to see that man.
So Kev just starts playing the beat.
It's Bumpy Nux, baby.
Classic.
What up?
I ain't hear this.
What's up, New York?
No, you never heard this yet?
I haven't heard this.
You'll remember it the second it goes on, too.
Right.
I wasn't gonna tell him we doing an album together, right?
Wow.
But I'm gonna tell him, yo, throw your finger up in the air like this one time. Huh? It's the underground dawn in the house, yo. Y'all know what time it is?
I got classes on this laptop. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, my
New
God.
World's in the air, baby.
Freddie F-O-X-X-X.
Yo, turn that shit up for me one time. Yo, my nigga Super Nat in the house.
This is the
We
last
gonna
one
do
that
some
night
crazy
that they played?
shit.
This is the end, yeah.
Yo, put your fists up. White fist, black fist. Put your tip high, put the motherfucking air. Put your fist up. Yo, can I black fist? Yo, listen, I'm the type of nigga that'll fight for his kids. Keep on with they chubby on, you can't see their ribs. And I love mama, she put it in me from the lib. Told me that before tape, I better learn to give. So I give y'all hot flow straight from the block. Nigga write his best shit and died and he hot. And I won't stop spending time at the grave. Talking to my baby brother whose spirit never lay. Stand up, man up, hold my fist up tight with my hand up in a black fist. Real thugs, I clap quick. My claim to fame is an overhand right to the brain. Roverland right through the rain. Tab to the train. Jab to the jaw to the brain. Nose to the blood to the drain. I stand for the real in the game. Bobby is my motherfucking name, yo. Throw your fists in the motherfucking air one time.
The crowd goes crazy. And the crowd goes crazy.
By the way, Supernat, what up? Another, yeah, he's freestyling, of course.
This is how you close it out.
Take another picture.
I forgot.
Better side. That's my genocide. Bring you up to top and top. Yo, I'm giving everything I got. Bumpy Nux, otherwise known as Freddie Fox. I'm so hyped that they gave me 2 mics. Every time I rock it, in a place to be. On this mic, I'll be a different MC. Another individual when you make it critical.
Well, I should have been around for Beat Society.
Yo, bro.
I was 12.
You were 12 years old. You missed
I was
it.
12. Yeah, I totally missed it.
By the way, shout out to Marco Polo. He's also a regular, of course. What up, Marco?
Marco. What up, Marco?
There's so many greats who
Pete
were a part of
Rock.
that. Pete Rock, of course. There was a Beat Society album EP that came out.
Which one?
Well, I was talking about
Grand
the,
Agent one.
Yeah, I was talking about the Grand Agent one.
Yeah.
Which I hoped I had on here. There was that Grand Agent.
I love the.
This is what they meant by Grand
Oh, yeah,
Agent
that was
Pete
good.
Rock. This Grand Agent Pete Rock
Yes.
record.
I like the Kev Brown joint. Whoever programmed us.
Oh, whoever
So
programmed
shameless.
us. That's what I wanted to play.
Woo!
Because you know what? This is what they meant. I don't think was from that project. I think that was from a
I think
Super
it
Rapping
was.
project.
I think it was on. Oh, nah.
I don't know if it was because what's coming up here on YouTube is Super Rapping. So, but whoever programmed us.
Programmed us. That was my favorite joint.
What?
Kev killed that joint. I had 2 joints on that album, but Kev killed it. He had the best one.
This is just the instrumental for whoever programmed us. By the way, it's I'm not going to get into all the details of it, but the funny thing is, Kevin and I don't talk anymore.
Really?
No, they don't talk anymore, and I literally don't care. I'll still get just as excited about his music. It makes no difference.
That's a good dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's just
You're a
no.
good dude.
It's real. No, it's not even about that. It's because I'm such a fan of his
Right.
music. That's
Right.
always what it was.
Damn.
So even when we couldn't end up seeing eye to eye, like business wise,
Right.
I'll just always be. Hold on, I gotta quit the other thing. I'll always just be in love with his music. Like he's the most underrated producer
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
history of the genre.
Yep.
This
For
is
sure. Always a fan of Kev Brown. Show Sham Dust. They show enough Sham Dust up. They did their thing to us. Did their thing through us.
now you make me want to find the.
They turn
Hold on.
around
Now I gotta play the
and
vocal
do it.
version. Here's the.
Whoever programmed us, show jammed us. They show enough jammed us up. Yeah, they did the
Shout out to
thing.
Grand Agent.
Shout out to
Did they
Grand
think through it?
Agent.
Then turn around and then the bing. Whoever programmed us.
Grand Agent was the
show
first thing to bring me
jammed
on tour in Europe.
us. Show
Really?
enough-
Yeah.
Wow. So really, shout out to Grand
Yeah.
Agent.
Did
Shout
the
out to
thing
Grand
to
Agent.
us. Did they think through us? Then turn around and yo, venting and representing. Yeah, hustling, haggling for a small mention in it all. Mary Magdalene fame. It's a shame I didn't tap dance. My bank statement would have had mad yin and yang from advances, but all motion ain't.
No, this
profit.
entire era of music and that you were a part of as well, I wonder how you feel about this. I feel like it sort of came just a little bit too early for the internet in terms of what the
Yeah.
internet eventually ended up being. These were all vinyl releases.
Right.
This was like the end of people still really pressing things up on vinyl, which of course is a huge, for me, I love that, but ultimately is a disappointment in terms of what it now allows people, like as great as vinyl was, it ultimately was a disadvantage in terms of being able to spread your music compared to
Yeah.
what we have today.
Oh, yes.
I just feel like all of you guys it was a little bit of a disservice
Right.
because we were still in that era and not in where we are right now. You know what made me realize
Yeah,
also?
we caught that.
Like just
In-between phase.
it was just the in-between phase.
transition, yeah,
phase,
man.
yep.
'Cause, like,
Record
vinyl
stores
wasn't-
was closing.
Vinyl
Yep.
wasn't exactly. Vinyl. It's not like vinyl was popping.
Right.
It wasn't.
They
But it
tried
was
to bring
still.
vinyls back.
And they are. And
Yeah.
right now vinyl's coming back. But
Yeah.
at that time,
10 years ago.
Right,
Yeah.
at that time,
Bad-
10,
bad
15
time.
years ago,
Right.
it was dying out, but it was still, I guess, the thing to do if you were
Definitely.
really trying to do it. Because, like, for example, at that point that we're talking about, labels were still sending vinyl to DJs.
they were.
But that was basically what it was becoming, all it was.
right.
And records were falling apart. Let me see if I have one more thing that existed from, hold on, that's on here, that exists from, oh, it may not be here. Yep, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. this is also from Beat Society. So another great thing about Beat Society, and we're talking to Johnny Popcorn. Their new record drops September 30th, by the way.
30th.
But another great thing was you guys would do a thing where you would have people flip something, and it would be a remix.
Yeah.
And they would flip a beat for a remix. So one time, and this is at the time I was managing Kev Brown, so that's why I have so much of Kev's stuff, of course. So the reason, they asked, this was a legendary one. They asked the producers to flip "Why" by Jadakiss,
Right.
and they gave him a sample. I don't know what the sample was, but this is what Kev did for "Why" by Jadakiss.
The face.
Yo, why is Jadakiss as hard as it gets?
That's
why is
right.
redesigned to keep the artists in debt? And why them dudes ain't riding if they party is set? And why they never get it popping but they party to death? Yeah, and why they gon' give you life for a murder? Turn around, only give
Your
you
laptop probably got so many hidden jewels on this laptop,
This stuff.
So you better keep an eye on it.
My hard drives and laptop is probably, I'm guessing, the greatest collection of low budget stuff there ever was.
Right.
So I don't like, this one doesn't have everything, but my other one that has everything, like just instrumentals.
Talking about that Odyssey J. Cole John and
I do have that somewhere. This is a good record from the Kev Philly days. This Rock With You record.
Yeah,
so you ended up, how much touring did you end up getting to do, Hezekiah, over your long career?
See, this is the thing. I hated touring. My dad was a truck driver as a kid, so I would travel with my dad. Growing up, I hated the road. And when you think of touring, you forget that it's called the road and not the stage. So most of the time, you're actually on the road. I hated the road, yo.
So funny, because some people love the road.
Yo, but
like,
me,
especially if you're with your
grew up,
people, it
dude,
could be a lot of fun. You're young.
From 9 years old, from 9 years old, I'm on the road with my dad looking at the highway.
Jeez.
You see what I'm saying? So then I got older and I'm like, oh, I remember this. I don't like, so I toured, 2005, 2008, and then I dropped out. I totally dropped out.
What did you get to do during those years tour-wise?
Europe, Switzerland, Russia, everything, everywhere, the norm.
With who?
With Grand Agent, Common, Mos Def, couple in the States with Kweli.
What was most like to be on the road with?
Awesome. Good conversation. And he has his family. It's his brothers, his two brothers, Abdul and Anwar, you know what I mean? And then his cousin, what's his cousin, Debo, and then his dad was, managing him at the time. And so it was like, it was just being around his whole family.
Did he have his brother who was in Medina Green there? Was
yeah.
Yeah. Hold up.
Hey, keep rising. Hey, keep rising.
DCQ. Lord,
yes, sir. Family right there.
This is one of my favorite records. This record right here.
Right.
Yo, you're welcome, Internet. Putting y'all on to some of these shows.
From the day live.
Hey.
Beats uptight. You tell him, D. 4 a.m. laid up at the rest. Got a call, made my heart jump out my chest. My man's got beef at the dance editor's block. Enemies outside with their heap on.
And this is a Raucous record.
Yeah.
And what was your deal with Raucous?
I got
what was your
signed to
situation?
Raucous like 2007, like that. I was the last official artist on Raucous. The worst time ever. You know what I'm saying?
Again, a victim of timing.
No, my first album was it was the distribution company. That Soul Spasm had.
Yeah.
They went bankrupt right when my album came out.
So this is literally the time when
Raucous,
the bottom was falling out
Raucous
of
went
everything.
bankrupt when my album came out. Like when my album drops, and then like 3 months later they went bankrupt.
And so you never. What was the experience like? Were they still in like a? What were they? Where were they at that point? Like, did they have a real infrastructure, or were you just sort of there?
Dude, there was Sony Red distribution, mad physical copies, and I don't know. I toured off the album. I poured in a bunch of my friends, Freeway, Jaguar Wright, Bilal.
Some good people.
Yeah, made a good album, and toured. Me, Jaguar, Bahamadia, toured the world on that one.
Talk about Philly.
Yeah, man.
How's Bahamadia? Bahamadia was someone who would show up to Beat Society, of course. You'd have a role at Beat Society.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Bomb's cool. She's cool. I think she's school teaching.
Talk about the importance. You got just being a Philly cat, or adopted Philly cat.
I'm an adopted Philly cat, most definitely.
What can you say about the way Jazzy Jeff is revered in the city?
He's revered like a king. You know that, like. Is that what you was getting at?
Yeah, that's what I'm. That's
okay,
what I'm trying to.
I never heard a bad story about Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah, that's what I want to bring up. Jeff is someone who I've been trying to.
Then you got that playlist, John. You been a guest on the playlist?
No, I've been trying to just get Jeff to be a guest on One Epstein. Damn. That's all I want is Jeff to be a guest on One Epstein.
Okay.
Because I believe he's the greatest DJ of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
From a technical standpoint.
Timeless.
Like, I mean, in a party DJ, he's amazing as well. And
Right.
I could get into a more detailed. You could argue all these different things about that,
Right.
but then there's a technical side of it, which I just think I think it's just hard to argue.
Then you got to put it in perspective. His the time where he came out too. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that he was doing was groundbreaking.
Right.
At the time, he was a trendsetter. So you got.
Well, it's very rare that someone who's like part of the origins of a music making art form then adapts with it and is still as good as the people who learned it from you.
Because he stayed a student.
So he starts out doing these scratches that if you go back and listen to the Jazzy Jeff Fresh Prince record where he's like practicing scratches, that record where they're like, when he's like, Fresh Prince is calling out the scratches and Jeff is hitting them.
Right.
And some of them are pretty basic relative to where scratching went. But then you fast forward 10 years, and when the Invisible Scratch Pickles and all these dudes exist, Jeff can cut just like that.
There.
Like, that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
Usually the kids who learn from those original days are like, oh man, the old dudes were trash.
Because you know what it is?
Bob Cousy couldn't come out now and dribble like Allen Iverson. You know, that's not generally how it works. I mean,
you know what it is? It's like people in generational things. Like I always hate it when people my age say, I paid my dues. Like they don't have to try anymore.
Right.
And I always tell people that the game is not rent to own, it's lease. You know what I'm saying? If like your rent's due, mother, get out. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't paying your dues, like get out. Like if you don't, so it's like it's never over. The hustle's never over. If you look at anybody that's relevant today, they're still hustling. They didn't sit back and say I paid dues. They always look for the next thing, and that's how they stay relevant. So that's why Jeff is still here.
Now, real quick, can you tell us how you guys came together as Johnny Popcorn?
Oh.
How did this come to be?
Tone with it. Oh, Chuck Trees, legendary punk rock dude. Chuck Trees,
Yes.
Mick Rad. Check out his Mick Rad Nike Dunks. He got his Nike Dunks and everything. Chuck Trees introduced me to Tone Whitfield, which is Bilal's bass player, and he produced a couple of Bilal songs. And so we were at like a Rich Medina open mic. Y'all know Rich Medina,
Of course.
So we're at a Rich Medina open mic. Me and Tone.
You sort of look like a weird alternate universe version of Rich Medina.
That's a good thing. The Bizarre World, Rich Medina.
That's my guy. What up, Rich?
Rich Medina's the angel. I'm the devil.
He's a true guy.
So we would be at Rich Medina's open mic, and Rich Medina, we would sign jacked up names on the list just as a joke. Johnny Popcorn was one of the names that was on the list. And when Rich said it, the whole crowd laughed. And me and Tone looked at each other like, yo, this is going to be our project name, Johnny Popcorn. And then years later, me and Tone were just writing songs for Bilal. And then we ended up having a bunch of songs that didn't make it to Bilal's album that sounded like an album, like the one that you're playing right now.
It sounds pretty good, by the way.
Thanks. And so
it's called Next Episode.
Next Episode. It's a video for it and everything with puppets.
The video is really great.
Oh, thanks. So yeah, man. So then we had an album. So it's like years later, way years later, like 2012, we decided just to throw it out, and it got good buzz without any seriousness. That video was done by Josh Coyne. He was like my punk rock friend from back in the day, and this dude like directed like Dorito commercials and Sprite commercials, and he was just like, yo, I got free time, want to shoot a video. And he shot like a $5,000 video, like for, didn't charge me anything. Like, I just want to, got puppets and got, So he did that, and then like years later, now, we, Marjani, Johnny Coral, she's actually singing on this album all over the place. Like this song too, she's in the background. Tony was like, you should have her be part of the band, like another lead singer. And then we recruited Brother Carruthers and Lloyd Alexander and Freshie on bass. And now we're actually a production songwriting crew. So it's not just our music; we're producing for other people too.
Oh, so you guys are more than like just your own band performing, but
production and songwriting. This is another Bilal song that didn't make it to Bilal's album.
And which Johnny Popcorn project is this? Can people find it?
This is The Crow.
And people can find The Crow?
Yep, on iTunes right now.
And Johnny, you were singing backgrounds on this record. You were not like leads.
I wasn't, not yet, but Tone advocated.
So September 30th, people get to hear you doing lead vocals.
Yes, exactly. I'll be right there.
I won't tell if you won't tell. Can you keep a secret? Sneaking in your window late at night. Late at night we're creeping. I won't tell if you won't tell. Can you keep a secret? Hello, how you been? We got a minute to live. We got a late start on.
What is it about Philadelphia that just has like the something funky in like the water?
It's the water. It's the Schuylkill Punch. Schuylkill Punch, baby.
It spreads
everywhere. It goes down slow,
It has
it's that rash I was talking about.
I guess I didn't even know about it. You know what? And that's the problem. I didn't catch it. That was the problem.
Get some of that water. We'll bring some of the water next time.
Right. If I did, I would have been good.
It's sprayed on your face.
Philly's just so hard. Like,
right.
so much soul comes out of it.
So,
it does.
So September 30th, people can get this new Johnny Popcorn album, which is called
Totem Pole.
Totem Pole.
Yep.
And iTunes, you can even buy physical copies. Go to johnnypopcorn.com. Any other shout outs, anything you guys felt that you were necessary that you wanted to say while you had this microphone in front of you?
Come see the show. JohnnyPopcorn.com. Look at all the tour dates. Come see the show. The show is incredible. Like I said, it's Bad Brains mixed with Earth, Wind, and Fire, mixed with Parliament Funkadelic, mixed with The Hives. And it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Mixed, oh man, Cab Calloway, you can compare it to Cab Calloway.
If you want
Prince,
music you can
it's
feel,
crazy.
come to the show.
Yeah, we put on one hell of a
all
show.
of our feelings that left on the stage.
Yeah.
We spare nothing.
I'll tell you what, I'm sold on that. That was actually pretty good song. Yo, Johnny Popcorn, it's a pleasure to meet you guys.
Thank
Hez,
you,
good to
brother.
see you, bro.
Thank you
so much.
Yep.